Here is a question from YouTube from Test40323. My favorite way to check a mic now because of you. Another question, please. Jazz is known for its improvisation, spontaneity, and player interactions. How do you preserve these qualities in a studio production? That's a good question because, as you know, when you get to the studio, you want to be prepared and things are planned out. Now, I am not a jazz player, but I have been to quite a few jazz sessions at this point. And typically what I see when I walk around the room and watch these amazing musicians do their thing is there is an organization to the chaos called charts. So a chart, for those of you that don't know, for those of you that do, just skip ahead. A chart is basically the organization of how the chord progression is going to go. And with jazz, a lot of times there will be a bit of the melody written out and notated so that even if you don't know the song, you kind of know what's coming, right? You don't just have the chords, you have the motif or the reoccurring melody that will happen throughout the song. So what I see when I go to a jazz session is most everybody has a chart, and in following that chart, when they look over to the trumpet player, or it's the saxophone player's turn, or whoever's turn it is to take a solo, that is their time to do improvisation. So even though, you know, they might take it 2 or 3 times, even though they don't play their solo the same every single time, they're gonna play the same chords every single time, so they know what's coming. So it's that method to the madness, you know, the organization within the chaos of, because they know the chords, because they know what's coming, they're free to take risks, make things up, improv, play with it. And sometimes in those moments, that's when the coolest stuff happens. You know, the band, the whole group is organized and they're creating this journey. And then whoever it is that's soloing, they can really play with it and do some interesting stuff. I find, and even though I'm not a jazz player, I've done plenty of improv, I find some of the coolest stuff happens in those improv moments. I remember one gig I played specifically in Lyons, Colorado, at this tiny little restaurant. I think it was probably 2015. Anyways, I'm sidetracking, but there was something magical about this little restaurant in a mountain town, and everybody's so encouraging. There was maybe a little extra wine, everybody's having a good time. And when it would be my turn to solo, I took more risks and I did more interesting things and discovered things. You know, that improv place is really a place for discovery of what can you do within these bounds and make it sound interesting and make it sound different than you did the time before. So those improv times, whether it's a live show or in a session, they're exciting times. So I think, you know, there does have to be, like I said, a method to the madness and some organization, so it's not total chaos, but it's actually pretty easy to preserve that improv, you know, kind of spontaneous quality in a session, as long as everybody is skilled enough to be able to do that. So thanks for the question. I'll see you around YouTube. Test 40323.